first to Dr. Om Srivastav, because it's in Mumbai that the situation is most alarming, the maximum number of cases in the country being reported from Maharashtra. What's your sense, because as everybody watches these images play themselves out, they're all wondering, when will this nightmare end, this huge spurt that we're seeing in COVID cases? By when do you see those trend lines starting to regress?
So thank you, Rahul, for having me on the show. That question is going to be, I'm not sure if anybody can answer that question with any degree of certainty. There are projections about when this is going to plateau, when this is going to start declining. That may happen anytime in the next about 4 to 6 weeks time, or maybe a little bit longer. I don't know if anybody can answer that with any kind of certainty. Hopefully it will decline very soon, and that the numbers will become more controllable. Numbers alone, I have to say that they are not just going to be responsible, or they're not going to be reflective of any one particular aspect. It should do with a number of things, including our own behavior, how we are going to conduct ourselves over the next 6 weeks, 8 weeks, couple of months, or even longer if the illness stays the way it is in the community. So I must say that, all the lockdowns and all the provisions that we are talking about, they are going to be of any help only after we are going to be changing our own way of life. Otherwise, as soon as the lockdown has been lifted, if we are going to go back to our ways, then I'm afraid we have not learned any lessons in the last 14 months, and that this kind of a situation is going to stay in our life.
Okay, Dr. Shahid Jameel, your best sense at this moment of how long this nightmare continues for? You're looking at different kind of models that have been put out in India and globally. People are only interested in knowing how long will our life be suffocated in the fashion that it is at this moment, and when can we start breathing normally again?
Well, people who are in the business of building models say that this present wave is likely to last possibly till the end of May, maybe a week or two into June. But before we get there, the number of daily cases is going to rise further. We don't seem to have hit the peak yet. Again, the same people, if you believe them, they're saying that we'll hit the peak somewhere around the first week of May. So it's a very, very alarming situation. Mumbai, you already talked about hospitals running out of beds. Happening in Delhi as well. Delhi is projected to need about 15,000 critical care beds in the next 2 to 3 weeks. That capacity is not there. So it's a very alarming situation, and it will be a few weeks. But then there is no guarantee that there's not going to be a third wave. And clearly we need to do some thinking, some introspection, and some planning ahead to avoid it.
Professor Giridhar Babu, you're amongst the people who are doing your own modeling. Tell us, what are your current models suggesting? Because there was a time when the first wave was on, when suddenly after reaching about 98,000, the COVID cases started to crash, and then the wave regressed. Why did that happen isn't fully established at this time. When do you see that happen, and how bad do you think the situation could get before it starts improving?
Thanks for having on this show, Rahul. The way I am looking at several models and then getting a sense, this is just the beginning of the ascent of the second wave, with Maharashtra actually leading it, and they might have already Mumbai might be seeing maybe early signs of the decline, but Maharashtra will be probably far ahead of the curve. Other states of concern are Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, and of course Maharashtra will continue to have higher cases. These states will have more than 100,000 cases. I'm giving you the most conservative estimates. Actual scenarios are far more scary, so I don't want to instill any sort of fear in the audience. But what the model says, a very a grim scenario in some of the states. Both Uttar Pradesh and Bihar have a reproductive number of 2.8, 2 and 3 as of now, which means that each person is spreading to 3 more people, which means that the cases are only going to increase in the future. Not currently, they might be not having that many cases. Even West Bengal and the other states also have the reproductive number above 2. And when you have more than 100,000 cases per day in these high-risk states, and when we are aware that
No.
there is poor...
Well, one second, you're saying that each of these big states like West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, in your models are projected to hit 1 lakh cases because our aggregate India number was 1,85,000 today. So you're saying each of these states at some point in time over the next few weeks you're projecting will hit 1 lakh cases.
Yeah, so in the maybe towards the end of the first week of May, these states will have 100,000 cases each day. The good news, even among these cases, is nearly 90% of them will be asymptomatic. So we might be looking at the requirement of hospitals for 5% for critical care.